We made 3 casseroles this week, and one of them may be my top favorite casserole I have ever made. Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. I cannot wait to share all 3 of these with you. Really quickly, I just wanted to let you know that a portion of today's video is kindly sponsored by Wild Grain. I've worked with them for several years, and we absolutely love Wild Grain. I'll tell you more about them later. Let's make our first casserole. Hello. All right, our first casserole apparently comes from the 1940s, and it is called Johnny Marzetti casserole. And when I'm looking at it, it looks pretty similar to a family favorite of ours called red macaroni, just a little bit different. It's kind of like a goulash as well. You'll have to let me know, have you ever tried this? And if you have, was this the version that you made? I've saw several different versions, but this is the one we're going with, so let's prep. So we need some chopped green onion and some chopped, not onion.
I don't think that's an onion, baby doll.
This is an onion. We need a chopped onion. We need a chopped green pepper. It's just one of them days, you know? Okay, so I've got my dicer here. We're just gonna use that just to make everything quicker and easier.
Just beat the snot out of it.
I should probably tell you, I'm only making about half of the recipe. The whole recipe makes about 12 servings. We don't need that much. So, I'm making about half. Our green pepper, I'm gonna dice it. It actually says chop, but I'm gonna do dice. And let's do the same with the onion. We've got several things to do over here. I've got a pot of water that I need to bring up to a boil, so I'm gonna turn that on. I'm gonna preheat my skillet to about medium high, and we need to turn the oven on and preheat it to 350. So the recipe calls for 2 different types of cheeses. It calls for like an Italian cheese blend. So I bought this pre-shredded, but then we also need cheddar cheese. So I have half a block here. I'm gonna shred that really quickly. That doesn't go on until the end, but I just wanna go ahead and get that done. Who is it?
Johnny Marzetti.
Marzetti?
Marzetti?
What did you say a while ago?
Manzel.
Poor Johnny. We don't know his last name, but we're trying. Okay, so I've got a pound of ground beef. I'm gonna throw this in. Now, the recipe calls for a pound of ground beef and a pound of Italian sausage. Because I'm cutting it in half, I'm just gonna do a pound of ground beef.
Wait a second. We ain't got no sausage in there?
We're cutting it in half.
Okay.
So that's too much meat.
All right.
So,
We'll let it slide this
unfortunately, we're not using Italian sausage, but I couldn't just thaw half a pound of meat, so
yeah.
Here we are. Okay, I'm going to attempt not to burn myself on this steam coming out of this, but our water is ready. And since I'm only doing half of the recipe, I only needed 6 ounces of dried elbow macaroni. So we measured that out with a kitchen scale, and I'm gonna let that cook and get nice and soft while we finish up over here. Okay, so we're gonna drain some of this fat, and then we're gonna season, excuse me, we're gonna season this because Italian sausage has a lot of different seasonings in it. So we're gonna be missing that flavor. So we're gonna add plenty of seasonings here in just a second, but let's drain this. Okay, I'm gonna turn the heat down just a little. And let's add some seasonings because that's the fun part. Let's add some salt, pepper. Let's add our garlic now and let that cook for a minute or 2. Okay, to this, we're gonna add some Italian seasonings since we're missing that from the Italian sausage. We're also gonna add a little bit of crushed red pepper. This is just gonna add a little bit of heat. You can leave this out if you want to, that's fine. Now, since I'm only making half, I'm using a small can of tomato sauce. You know what else I forgot to add in? We need to saute these. So let's add that in now and saute that before we add the rest of it in. Let these get a little soft. Okay, I'm gonna let that hang out for just a couple of minutes and then we'll move on. So the recipe calls for a tablespoon of brown sugar, so I'm gonna do about a half a tablespoon. It calls for Dove sauce. I'm gonna be real with you, I don't even know how much it calls for. But this is one of those things that I just kind of go until I'm happy, you know? Because, I mean, I feel like you can't go wrong with the Dove sauce.
You can't.
It's my fave. Then, we only need about half of this can of diced tomatoes. And we're gonna let that hang out here until our macaroni is ready, which it's almost ready. I think it's got a couple of minutes left. So this came up to a simmer. I'm gonna turn it down to about medium low. We're gonna let it hang here for 36 more seconds until I drain the macaroni, and then we're gonna assemble the casserole. So I'm using this smaller baking dish. I don't need a 9x13 since I'm not doing the whole amount. I'm gonna spray it. Macaroni noodles go in. Then you top it with your Italian blend cheese. Look, I'm going a little heavy on the cheese.
Go for it.
Because I feel like it. All right.
Me too.
Now we're gonna put this on top. We are gonna cover this with aluminum foil for the majority of the time, and then we'll take it off and put that shredded cheddar on top and let it cook for a few more minutes at the end. We gotta bake this for 45 minutes. I don't really know why it needs to bake for 45 minutes because everything's already done. So I'm not gonna follow directions. You feel free. I'm gonna do 30. Because I feel like 45 is just
I feel like
overkill.
30 is still too long too.
I mean, 30 is still a long time, but
yeah.
we're gonna do 30. You do you. But I just feel like, I mean, it doesn't have to cook anything. It's just kind of melting it all together. It'll be fine. Ooh, that is some steamy. Now we're gonna top it with shredded cheddar cheese and just stick it back in for like 5 minutes just to let it melt.
Look at that cheese.
Lots of it.
Yeah, this looks really good, baby. You did a good job.
It was very easy.
I haven't even tasted it yet. I just know.
Hopefully it's got enough salt to it. You'll have to let me know. We can always add some more.
Comfort food right there.
Good.
The seasonings are perfect.
Oh, good, 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 good.
Because it's the Italian seasonings in there. They're earthy.
Yeah.
Oregano and thyme. Just a little bit of a spice, but the cheese.
Yeah.
The cheddar cheese especially, you can really taste that.
Okay. Does it remind you of red macaroni?
A little bit.
A little bit, but a little different.
The tomato bits in there
Yeah.
and the veggies, the peppers and the onions, they come through.
Okay, good.
So
Excellent.
if it's like red macaroni, it's like a kicked up.
Okay. Yeah.
Kick it up a
Because
notch.
red macaroni is more spaghetti-like, so this one's a little different. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to dig in. I am excited to give this a try. It smells so good.
Very rich. You definitely tell the Worcestershire sauce gives it a little more depth to it. It's rich and bold.
This is like a hamburger helper, but a better hamburger
Oh
helper.
yeah, for sure. Really good.
Oh, that's delicious.
Yeah, comforting.
I love how easy it was. You do have to dirty up several things, but
Right.
it wasn't hard at all.
No.
And I feel like you could change it up however you want to. I would like to try it with the Italian sausage when we get a chance, but since I was only making half of it, I just couldn't make that happen today. But I think that would add even more flavor. So
Right.
This is really good. I would like to thank Wild Grain for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Look, if you've been around for a while, you know my sincere love for Wild Grain. But if you've never heard of Wild Grain, they are the first bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, artisanal pastries, and fresh pastas. What they do is they partner with small bakers and pasta makers all over the country to keep the tradition of artisanal and nutritious food alive. Here's the thing, if you are not a baker, like I am not really a baker. Number one, I don't enjoy it. But number two, it just stresses me out and it takes a lot of time. Enter Wild Grain. It goes from frozen, you don't have to thaw it, to your table in about 25 minutes. So you take it right from the freezer and you put it right into the oven and then grab it from the oven and eat it. So I get the classic box, but they have a couple of other box options as well. They have a vegan box, so a plant-based box, and then they also have a gluten-free box, which is very important to a lot of people I know. So if you're not wanting to make bread at home and or you don't want to buy it at the store, here's the thing, when you buy it at the store, a lot of times if you don't use it that day or the next day, it goes bad. And you should really consider looking into Wild Grain. It is the greatest time of year and they have a lot of seasonal items right now. First thing on top of my box that I see, I had these last year, y'all. They are so good. These are the apple cider donuts. When I say these are phenomenal. And the great thing about this is you don't have to make them all at one time. Last year, I would just kind of bake a couple that I thought we might eat that day. And then whenever we were ready for some more, I would bake some more. They're so good. We have some maple Belgian waffles as well. They have a sourdough harvest bread this time, and I'm looking at the ingredients. It's got dried cranberries, pecans, dried apricots, dried figs, candied ginger. How on time is this? Let me mention too, their sourdough breads use a slow fermentation process, which is really great for your tummy. Another great benefit of the slow fermentation process is that it helps control blood sugar spikes. So that's a win. Another seasonal pumpkin cinnamon biscuits. They're famous croissants. These croissants are some of the best you will ever have. Here's the great thing. If you decide you want to try wild grain, you can use my code Mandy30 and you will get $30 off of your first box of wild grain, which is great. Plus, that is going to sign you up to get free croissants in every box for the lifetime of your subscription. I've got the link in my description box below. Go have fun, use that code, save some money, get some free croissants, thank me later. I love a good shepherd's pie, and I've made several different types of shepherd's pie here before. Today, the casserole we're making is a cheeseburger shepherd's pie. It looks really good, and I'm craving a cheeseburger, so let's see if this meets that craving. To get started, I need to peel 1.5 pounds of russet potatoes. For me, that's 3 kind of medium to smallish potatoes. So I've got those peeled. I'm just going to chop these and pop these into this pot here, and then we will cook these on the stove top. While that gets going, let's preheat the oven to 350. Okay, I'm going to wait on my potatoes to cook, and I'm going to slice up the other things that I need. The recipe calls for a red bell pepper. This is not red, as you can tell. My grocery store was out of them, and I did an Instacart order and they just subbed this orange one. We're just gonna go with what we can. Let's chop this up. Normally I would get my handy dandy chopper out for this, but it's in the dishwasher. It's going to make quick work, try to be as efficient as possible. Okay, I didn't need quite all of that. I'm just gonna freeze the rest of this pepper and save it for another day. And then the other thing that I need to do is dice some onion. The recipe calls for a medium onion. This is a medium to small onion. The onion is absolutely killing me, so I wet a paper towel. I'm gonna throw it on top of the onion. Whew. And the last thing I need to do is chop up some dill pickles. I've got these sandwich stuffers. We'll just dice these. You cannot have a cheeseburger, in my opinion, without pickles. I know some people absolutely despise pickles, but I love them. Only if they're dill though. I do not like sweet pickles. Oh my word. Nothing will upset me quicker than thinking I'm about to throw a dill pickle in my mouth and realize it's a sweet pickle. That is a bad day right there. Now that this has come up to a boil, I am gonna add some salt to it. It did say some lightly salted water that we needed to be boiling this in, and I just threw salt everywhere. You know, that's how it goes. We need some shredded cheddar cheese for this. I need to shred up about a cup, a little over actually. So I'm doing about 1/2 block of cheese. So while these are going, we need to start over here on the ground beef mixture. So it calls for 1.5 pounds of meat or ground beef. Don't tell Steven, I found 1/2 pound in the freezer. Totally could have used this for the other recipe we made, but didn't know it was there. But we've got 1.5 pounds of meat here. Let's throw it in the skillet and start browning it. While we're browning our meat, we're gonna add our onions and our peppers that we chopped. I think my mix and chop tool is also in the dishwasher. I need to run that dishwasher, don't I? Everything's in there. I'm gonna check on my potatoes here in just a second. As that is finishing up, I'm adding in some garlic because I didn't feel like mincing garlic, so we're using the jarred kind. I'm gonna let that finish up. It's almost done. We'll drain this and then we'll move on. But my potatoes, I just drained those. Let's go make the mashed potatoes for our shepherd's pie. All right, we've got our potatoes that have been drained. Let's add 1/4 cup of milk, about 1/2 cup of sour cream, and some salt. And I'm gonna use an electric mixer just to make this quicker and make sure they're really smooth. Okay, now it says to add in about 1/2 cup of the cheese. I'm gonna sprinkle our cheese in and I'm just gonna stir that in. And it's time to go finish up on the stovetop, so let's go do that. Let's add in 1 cup of water. Also a 6-ounce can of tomato paste is going in. I'm gonna stir that, get that to kind of break up a little bit before I add the rest. Okay, to this we're gonna add about 1.5 cups of frozen corn. It can still be frozen, not a big deal. It's also time for our pickles. Yum, yum, yum. Love me some pickles. Let's throw that in. Let's stir all of that together. You definitely need a large skillet for this. This next measurement kind of shocked me, honestly. We need 1/4 cup of mustard. That feels like a lot. That feels aggressive. But you know, I love mustard, so it's gonna be all right. Let's add that in. Okay, so we're supposed to bring this up to a boil and let it simmer for like 5 minutes. It's already coming up to a boil. I also need to add in some oregano. Where is that? Here it is, about a teaspoon. I mean, yeah, corn is not in a cheeseburger, but a lot of the other flavors seems very cheeseburger-ish to me, so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. All right, I'm gonna turn it down just a tad and let that hang out for about 5 minutes. We'll be right back. It's been about 5 minutes. I'm gonna turn the heat off and we're gonna add in some cheese because this is cheeseburger. About a half a cup. We'll stir that through and then it's time to assemble. So it says a 2.5 quart, which is a little bit bigger than an 8x8. So this is not quite a 9x13. It's like a 7x11 maybe. I'm not sure, but that's what we're gonna go with. You need to put the cheeseburger mixture on the bottom, okay? And then we are going to take our mashed potatoes and we're gonna put them, instead of just spreading them straight across, it says to do them in mounds on top. They look like little biscuits on top, don't they? Now, the remaining cheese that we have, which is not a whole lot, we're just gonna sprinkle that over the top. This is going in our 350-degree oven for about 20 minutes. It has been 20 minutes. I will have Steven taste this when he gets home, but he's not home right now. So I'm gonna dig in and see what I think. I'm using this scooper. I love this one. I can officially tell you that Cole has tried it and he said, wow, that is good. Leave it out because I'm gonna get seconds. So that means 2 thumbs up from Cole. Very hot, very, very hot. Actually, it's burning my hand. Do y'all have bowl cozies? A sweet subscriber made me a set. I have several sets, but this is one that she made. But it helps with hot stuff or cold stuff because if you have a bowl of ice cream, you know your hand will freeze. So you can put this under it and it's bearable. Yes, you can taste the mustard, but it doesn't overpower it, which I was a little nervous about because there's a lot of mustard. You can taste the pickles. This is definitely a cheeseburger shepherd's pie, for sure. That's delicious. This is the perfect casserole for fall time. Oh my goodness, it's so cozy. The potatoes on top are super creamy. Got the perfect amount of seasonings. Everything is perfect, it's spot on. Hello, sir, welcome home. I like your glasses.
You do?
I do. You look smart.
Praise the Lord for that.
All right, you ready?
Yes, I'm
I
ready
hope
because
it's
I'm
still,
hungry.
I hope it's still warm.
I'm hungry.
You're hungry?
I'm hungry.
Okay, well, hopefully it's still warm.
It's different.
He doesn't know what
I like
this
it.
is.
I don't know what this is, but this is really good.
Okay, what do you taste?
Got ground beef in there.
Uh-huh.
It's got some kind of sauce in it though.
Uh-huh.
Like maybe a tomato sauce.
Yeah, it's a tomato sauce.
But the seasonings I can't pick out, but they are super good.
Okay, there's a lot of mustard in it.
A mustard, okay. Yeah.
Do you taste, take a bite.
Okay. I'll take my glasses off.
See? That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Wow. There is a lot of flavor in that. But I can definitely get the mustard, but it's not like overly mustardy.
No. Do you get pickles?
Yes.
It's a cheeseburger shepherd's pie.
Wow.
It's got pickles, mustard, onion, peppers.
Super good, baby.
Isn't it good?
It's so different.
I know.
I love this.
He just came back from the gym, so he went swimming. For those of you who don't know, he's training for a triathlon, and so obviously we don't have a pool here at the house. He has to go swim. So he just got back from that. He worked up an appetite.
Yes, I did. I think I don't know, a mile.
Good job. I can swim about 5 feet.
Well,
you chow down.
I don't know if we can call what I do exactly swimming. I'm just going in that direction, not very fast.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you that right now. My shoulders are sore.
Oh, I bet they
Give
are.
out.
Yeah.
Probably because my form is much to be desired, let me just say.
All right. Well, it is a gloomy day outside. I don't think y'all can see that, but this casserole hit the spot. So I'm so glad that you love it. It's delicious, isn't it?
It is delicious. But yeah, I'm surprised at just how different it is. And
It is.
mixing it up with the ground beef.
I
What?
know.
Good job, babe.
Thanks.
Thank you.
If you are enjoying this, please don't forget to give this a thumbs up. Plus, if you haven't already, I would love for you to join my YouTube family. It is free to do so. Hit that subscribe button right now.
Baby has got her apron on.
Baby's got her apron on. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da.
It's time to do some serious cooking now.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We're Maggie Moo's ready. She's got the zoomies. I hear her going crazy.
Zooming.
So we're having a chicken and rice casserole, y'all, but it's not like your normal chicken and rice casserole. We're not using any cream of type of soups. We're adding some Told you she had the zoomies. We're adding some mushrooms to it. It's gonna be a good one. So let's get started. I've got to preheat the oven, preheating it to 375. So the recipe calls for 2.5 pounds of chicken thighs. You know it's gonna be a good recipe when they don't say chicken breast, they say chicken thighs.
Yes.
That makes me very excited. So I thawed these out earlier. These are from Butcher Box. Let's take these out. This is probably about 2 pounds total. We're gonna make it work. I always get too small of a cutting board every single time.
She's a ninja cat.
So now I'm just gonna cut these thighs. I did trim them a little bit. I'm gonna cut them into about 1.5 inch pieces or so, basically bite-sized pieces. We're gonna season them with a little bit of salt and pepper. I'm gonna stir it around here in just a second. And then we're gonna head over to the stovetop, and we'll probably have to work in batches, but we're gonna saute these. While we're waiting on our pan to heat up, I do have a skillet over on the stovetop that is heating up. While we're waiting on that, I'm gonna dice this onion really quickly. So let's start browning the chicken. We don't have to cook it all the way through. We're just gonna brown it a little bit. I'm gonna add some olive oil to the pan. This is the Tuscan herb infused olive oil. I've got the Palmetto Olive Oil Company linked below if you're interested. It adds a lot of flavor. It's really, really good. Hear that sear? Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't want to overcrowd it, so I'm probably going to have to do it in 2 batches. Okay, I'm going to let that hang out for about, 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll flip it, and then we'll remove it and put it in a bowl. Okay, we're flipping these over. Gonna let them continue to cook on the other side for another couple of minutes. We removed the other batch once it was done on the other side. And again, they are not cooked all the way through. They're not supposed to be. They're gonna go in the oven, in the casserole, and they'll cook the rest of the time there. Okay, they're done. You've got to very carefully add them to that tiny little bowl. I know, I'm sorry.
Golly.
I believe in you.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, it'll be all right. Don't knock over
I'm
the
going to borrow your belief. See?
It'll be okay. It'll
See
be
there?
okay. It'll be okay. It's just going on the counter. The counter's clean.
Okay.
All right. Little more olive oil, not a lot. Maybe a tablespoon. We're going to add our onions in here, and we're going to cook them for about 3 minutes. I'm going to turn the heat down to about medium. We're going to add some garlic in these last 30 seconds or so. I don't know how much garlic it called for, but that's how much we're using. We're going to deglaze the pan so you don't have to worry about that. So now let's take that and put it over here in this 9x13. To this dry pan, we're going to add 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms. We're just going to let the moisture come out of these, and we kind of want them to cook without the oil so that they'll get a little crispy, but we're going to saute these. I'm going to turn it back up to about medium high. I'm going to saute these for just a few minutes. I love mushrooms.
They are good.
They're so meaty without being meat.
Right.
I love them. They're so good. It's been a couple minutes. They're looking wonderful. I could just eat those, but let's add those to our casserole dish. My poor little puny wrist is pitiful. Okay, now we need to deglaze the pan with a 1/4 cup of, you can either use sherry or white wine. If you don't want to use alcohol, you can just do chicken stock. That's fine. We're going to deglaze, and you want it to reduce down to about only a tablespoon left of liquid.
This is going to be some serious flavor.
Oh yeah. So that is reduced down. Now we're going to add in about 1 1/3 cup of chicken stock. I've got some chicken bone broth mixed with chicken stock. We just had a little bit of bone broth left. Now it says to remove this from the heat. We're going to add in 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt, which is a good little bit of salt. So I decided to measure it out. We need to add in a 1/4 cup of heavy cream and a 1/2 cup of sour cream. Let's combine all of this together. I grabbed my whisk, and instead of opening it up, I'm just using it flat to help break up that sour cream, mix it all the way through. We're going to stir all of this together here in just a little bit, but To this, we're gonna add 1 cup of uncooked rice. Then let's pour our mixture over top. Now we need to add some seasonings. We've got Italian seasoning here. We're gonna add about a teaspoon of that. We've got some poultry seasoning. We're gonna add about a teaspoon of that. And a half a teaspoon of paprika. I'm just gonna eyeball this so I don't have to take that shaker top off. Let's mix all that together.
Well, that's looking like some serious flavor in there.
That's what I'm talking about. Now we place the chicken on top. I'm just gonna let whatever juices are in there with them come through. So much flavor. It says cover it tightly with aluminum foil. Here's the hard part because it smells so good in here already. We've got to wait 45 minutes because this is going to bake at 375 for 45 minutes.
Man, baby, that looks, I mean.
My mouth is watering.
I can already taste it.
Look here.
Can't wait.
I'm going to need you to be quick like because I am starving. It's like 8 o'clock at night, y'all. But we had a late lunch, so.
Man. Wow. Baby. Wow.
Is this going to be in the favorites?
Yes. The flavor in this is insane. That is insane.
I am so happy.
Wow. Okay, so super like rich, bold flavors.
Okay, good.
Coming out of this. That rice is so loaded with flavor. It's unbelievable.
I am so happy right now.
Chicken is great. I'm gonna tell you what, that rice is off the charts.
I'm so happy.
The mushrooms with the flavor of the rice, it's got this, salty, sort of herby flavor the rice does. The chicken is really tender.
There you go. Good choice of words. All right, you've had your turn. It's my turn.
It's crazy good.
It reminds me of my mom's brown rice.
I was thinking the same thing.
But like as a dinner.
Yes, amazing.
Honey. How'd it do that?
I don't know, but the flavors in that, I just knew that when you're putting all those herbs and spices in there, that this was going to be amazing. It's so rich and flavorful, like comfort food.
This may be...
It screams fall.
Oh, it absolutely does. This may be not only in a top 5, but it may be the #1.
It's going to be hard to beat this one, for sure.
It really is.
It's going to be hard to top it.
I don't want to say it was hard because it wasn't hard.
Right.
But it took a while to make this.
Yeah. But it's
payoff, worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Thank y'all for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. You've got to tell me, are you going to make the chicken and rice casserole? Please tell me yes. And please come back and report after you eat it because, oh my word, can't wait to see you next week. Bye, y'all.